Okay, guys, uh, we've cut our where are we? We've cut our 223 brass to 300 size. Now we're gonna form the shoulder, form the cartridge itself. Basically, we're gonna do this on the Forester press. We've swapped our jaws over. We have our 300 Blackout die. We have the expander, the depriming tool with the expander ball in it. We're gonna leave that in there. We basically want to form the neck to 0.304 inch, which will give us on a 308 cartridge or 308 caliber will give us 4 thousandths interference fit on the bullet. So that's going to provide the perfect neck tension, which is 3 to 4 thousandths on a semi-auto loading rifle. You need the neck tension there so that the bullet will stay in place while you're firing the rifle. You can also put a military or a factory crimp on it if you want to buy the extra die. They sell them. Lee sells a pretty good die that does that. The other thing you want to do is you need to use lubricant anytime you're going to resize. I like to use Imperial. It's a wax type lubricant. It works great. I've tried other lubricants. This one seems to work the best for me. You can rub it on your hands and then rub it on, get a bunch of cases in a pile inside of a plastic container and just rub your hands in them and just kind of massage them around, and you can get the lube on them, and it works really good. It's a high pressure wax type lubricant. You want to take a little bit on your fingers and just kind of rub it all around on the case. Put the case in there and get ready to size. Here we go. You want to turn it about a quarter turn and size it again. Maybe even hit it a third time. It's necessary to make sure that we hit it more than once so that we get it to proper dimension. Here I have a Sheridan size case die, or a bullet. It's not a die. It's what it is. It's a gauge, and this one has a cutaway feature. It's made out of stainless steel, and this cutaway feature is really nice because it allows you to see exactly where the shoulder is. And also you can see that the headspace is correct because it's flush right there. So this case goes in and out real smooth all the way in. This one's ready to go. It just needs to be trimmed. We're gonna set up a trimming. I got a trimming fixture. We're gonna do some trimming here in a little bit, but there's your formed case. You're almost there. You trim it, clean the case, the pocket out, deburr it. This one might have a military crimp on it. You can take that off, and we have a case ready to load once we get through that. Also, I got some factory 300 ammo here. I like this gauge because, as with most of these gauges, you can use it to check live ammo. This one here is it's not really stuck in there, but it won't come out under its own, so it'll work. The worst thing is when you put it in and it's sticking out about that much, forget it. That's a no-go. It's not going to go in your rifle. Even if it's less than that. I mean, anything really sticking out, that you can feel that's kind of pronounced, it's not going to go. So it's a very good indicator. At any rate, even with this gauge, what you want to do is load about 5 rounds and try them in your rifle. Make sure they cycle, make sure they don't get stuck. If they get stuck, that means that you're one of two things: either your neck is too big or your ogive is too far out. Your bullet is too far out and it's engaging the lands in your barrel and it's causing a stick condition. So even if it chambers, if you find it hard to open that bolt, you might want to seat this bullet about 10 or 15 thousandths further in to the case to avoid that condition. Alright, we're going to do another one right here. We got another case, lubricate it, just kind of rub it around. There are some burrs. You can clean up those burrs, you don't really have to. You might end up having to unscrew the top of your die here and clean the ball out once in a while, because these brass burrs may build up in there. But it's brass, it's pretty soft. It's not gonna hurt anything. So anyway, you just kind of put some of that wax on there. You hit it. Turn it about 90 degrees. Hit it again. And check it with your gauge. There it is. Goes all the way in, comes out. No problem. That's good. Again, all we need to do here is trim it to length. On this one here, you can see, well, it's hard to see, but we only need to take about maybe 10 or 15 thousandths off. That one's pretty close. I got my saw set up so we get it pretty close. We don't have to trim that much because you don't want to leave it too long and have to spend too much time trimming. You don't have to take 30, 40 thousandths off. That's totally unnecessary. But you do want to leave about 10 or 15 thousandths so that you get when you do trim it, you get a very even cut all the way around. And that's it. Okay guys, one more thing. I've noticed on some of these conversions that brass is alloyed differently by different manufacturers. It has a little springiness to it. When you size it, it'll, you can squeeze it, but then there's a little bit of spring back. That's normal. But if you're gonna convert 223 to 300, I've found that the ones that work pretty good, are like NATO, like Lake City brass works good. Winchester brass works good. Federal brass works good. The ones that I've found that do not work too good, they don't spring back, are the PPU match or any Privy partisan ammunition made in I don't know what this is made of, where it's made overseas somewhere, Croatia or somewhere, but made in Serbia. This ammunition is made in Serbia. It's pretty good ammo, very accurate. This one here is the 223 Remington 75 grain match. It's pretty accurate, it's pretty good, fairly cheap. But the cases, for some reason, when you convert them to 300, they just don't spring back enough. And I've found that they will not go in all the way. They'll stick out that much. And you can put them in here and you can size them as many times as you want, and you're not going to fix the problem. It's always going to be sticking out a little bit. It's going to be coming out. They will not go into this, they're not going to chamber into your rifle, basically. So I've started staying away from this type of these type of cases. And though it's got the PPU, You can read it on the head stamp. It'll say PPU on it. I would stay away from them because I haven't had any luck with them. I mean, they tend to, they just don't work. They don't I don't know if it's the brass. They alloyed it with another material. I don't know, but it works good for what it is. 223. I don't have any problems with it. But as far as conversions, I've learned to stay away from them.